Yeah, Jared Anderson's fists are just too light, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't compare to what Bakole was bringing in the ring, you know. Uh, Jared puts off a lot of nervous energy. He's young, so you can read him. You can really read him. That was my opinion on it. I think he was always aware of what was in front of him. Doesn't mean he didn't give up. He didn't give up. He just got schooled and you know, call it humbled, call it whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? Martin McCauley put the beats on him, the beats by Dre. Maybe he gets a sponsor, I don't know. But yeah, it's just one of those things, Jared is young. He's 24. He used to be 23, but now he's 24. So he's he's got some time to try to come again, of course. But will he come back? In what fashion? Because, like I said, I don't really see too many people in the top 15 that he's really getting through. You gotta look at these fights, man. When you see a guy that has all these TKO knockouts, unless his name is Deontay Wilder or something like that, or like, really guys like Better Beef and stuff, these guys are proven that they're knocking you out, yeah? These TKOs, they're always a bit suspect to me. One of the Russells, one of the Russell brothers, he had all those TKO knockouts, and then, he fought one of Salas's guys, and it just went down to like just getting outclassed, at the end of it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. These records sometimes can be very suspect, um, inappropriate matchmaking sometimes. So we'll see what he does. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, like, I get somewhere closer to landing something like that, an opportunity. I'm still here for it.
One thing that I mentioned on the Seconds Out live show that we do on a Monday, obviously we're all talking about the Jared Anderson getting stopped, and I believe I said something that this loss could be a very big blessing for him. We've seen that he is showing signs of struggling with the pressure of having all the lights on him. Now that he's suffered that defeat, could this loss be a big lesson for him and almost we could see a revamped, rejuvenated version of Jared Anderson when he comes back?
It depends on his mental, yeah. A guy like Dubois, he had the resurgence. A lot of people are comparing it to, I see some of the bloggers, they're saying, oh, well, Dubois had helped him out. But you got to remember, Dubois, his daddy keeps him in the ring, and Dubois, he don't know too much else but fighting and boxing. And so he always wants to improve and do better. He's never said anything like he wants to check out early or anything like that. So, it could be, we're gonna see if it's a blessing or a curse, I'm sure he made a good penny getting cashed in against Bacoli, but at the same time, how does he respond back to that? Does he just look at the money? Does he look at like, well, I'm safe now because sometimes when he's like, oh, I'm 23, I'm 24, da, 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 he's always giving himself these excuses and these outs, to just be like, to relieve the pressure off himself. You know, I need him to have these mental flaws if we ever fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna exploit every one of them. But at the same time, he'll need to do real soul searching for himself because I'm sure he's made a decent amount of money, a really decent amount, and so yeah, like this is hard life, man, and there got to be something else on the other end outside of a payday for you to make you succeed. So I don't know. You see these stories a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody gets put on this pedestal for a couple of years and then they just disappear. And we'll see what happens with them.
And how surprised were you by the result of Jared Anderson getting stopped by Martin McCauley?
I mean, nah, I'm not super surprised. I mean, I can't come on here and just completely bash him because then I'm gonna sound like a hater. But if you know the sport and if you study it, you watch it, you see what's really happening. Martin has only got the loss to Mike Hunter, and Mike was on fire when they fought. Um, still Mike is training. It's just a rough night for anybody. Um, but yeah, stylistically, it all just there was too many red flags around it. You know, hey, I don't got a fucking crystal ball, but at the end of the day, it's just like the writing is on the wall kind of with that one.
Fair enough. And then looking at the man who came out victorious that night, Martin Bakole, he's already started calling out some names, and I think the one name that seems to be getting heavily linked with him already is Zhilei Zhang. If that fight is to get made, how do you see it playing out?
It's a different fight. It's a totally different fight. Then you're getting back into the real 50-50s and the swings, because here's the thing. We know Zille can punch. Bakole does a lot of things where he's just walking in squared on. This is why he can punch from any angle because I don't have to be in a boxing stance. The punches can come from up top, around, out the bottom. But that's because you have no respect for this guy. You know what I'm saying? You if you go in there with absolutely no respect for Zhang and you don't get past round six, because round six, Zhang he's gonna drop. His activity is always gonna drop after round six. Very dangerous for the first 5 to 6. And then after that, you can cruise your way into a victory or even probably stop him. But you know, coming out, you can't be you couldn't take the same risk. I think Martin's gonna ride this wave right now because he toppled the idea of America's next heavyweight. He conquered that. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was giving this guy high praise. So on paper, you know what I'm saying, he has this juice, but can he do that with a real elite fighter? You know? And Jared is elite with marketing. He's not an elite fighter, my opinion, just my opinion. But the marketing made him an elite name, um, somebody to be looked at and watched carefully. But there are certain things you can get away with depending on who you're in there with. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, if I was gonna go, you know, uh, spar some amateurs at the club and stuff like that, I'm not gonna be switched on like I would with a live wire. It'd be like, I don't know, if I go home and just beat up my cousin real quick, I could do that. Well, I could throw anything.
And then if I was to ask you for a prediction on Martin Bakole versus Zhilei Zhang, if it is to get made next, what would you say?
If Bakole is smart, then he wins that fight still. But I could see him if he's gonna fight the way he fought. He cannot fight the way he fought Jared. No, no, no. Because if you walking in like that, Zhang is gonna clip you. And yeah, they're both big dudes, so the physicality will be about the same. But Zhang is a very sharp puncher. Um, I think he possesses just a bit more snap than Bakole, but both of them enough to concuss you. So just be smart, and take them in those later rounds. Don't go in there because he's very much he's sharp with the counters. He's sharp with the counters. Pretty agile for a big dude himself. And he's just waiting. He's waiting to find these little holes. And I think he can flash you. He can flash you out. He possesses ability to just turn you off. If you get too over greedy and stuff like that.